Hey guys, it's Stephen here and welcome back to another video, and with some news breaking this morning about Bernardo Silva potentially staying at Manchester City and all indications pointing towards no more transfers incoming for this window. I know it's like still 2 weeks left, but I don't think anything's going to change. I thought I'd use this chance to do a bit of analysis on Manchester City's squad going into the rest of this campaign. We are of course already 2 games in, but this feels like a good point to assess the squad, its potential weaknesses, its potential strengths, and where we're at for this upcoming season. So today I'm going to ask all the big questions like, is it enough? Who we got? What options are there? Are there any academy players who can step in? All that kind of stuff. But first of all, I would like to say, are you looking to protect your online security? Well, you should be using NordVPN. Yep, I'm working once again proudly alongside NordVPN. I'm proud to be partnered with them. You should head over to nordvpn.com/esteemed company right now so you can get access to the Nord Security Bundle deal. It really is the ultimate security package. You can get free deals over there, all absolutely wonderful and all an absolute bargain as well. The best thing about NordVPN as well, it's risk-free. So basically, if you're not sure, after 30 days, they will give you your money back, absolutely guaranteed. NordVPN as well basically makes your online experience safer, more varied and better, all for the cost of a cup of coffee per month, literally. And for me, a coffee store is actually a good example of where a VPN would come in use. If you don't know what it is, simply a VPN is a virtual private network. Basically, it keeps you private and secure online by hiding your IP address. How many times have you been sat there connected to a public Wi-Fi in a coffee shop or whatever, or an airport, and you don't realize that your details could be accessed by unfortunately the wrong people who know how to hack into your phone or your laptop or whatever. A VPN, once again, it sets up your own private network, which is absolutely crucial to your online security. It's great basically when you're traveling away so you can watch your favorite teams play and all that kind of stuff, and essentially you get more options and a more varied and safer way to use the internet. There's also thousands of servers and they're absolutely easy to connect to. I use it all the time, literally just one click and it connects to a different server around the world. And once again, it's been confirmed by speed tests, it is the fastest VPN on the market. Head over to nordvpn.com/esteemed company, get one of those bundle deals, get your security better, get your online experience better. Do it right now. nordvpn.com/esteemed company. It's a wonderful deal, once again, all for the cost of a cup of coffee a month. Wonderful stuff. So let's go into this squad depth that Manchester City have got. So I'll bring a graphic up on screen right now where I've roughly filled out what the team looks like with accepted first team players, including some academy ones. We'll go through that one by one, and we'll look at the squad depth and work out is it enough. So obviously we're going to start in goal there. We've got 3 good goalkeepers there. We've got one world-class goalkeeper and 2 very good ones. The world-class one, of course, being Scott Carson. I had to do that, but no, seriously, Edison and Ortega. Edison has been really good in the first couple of games of the season. He's a quality keeper. There were some suggestions that his form dipped a little bit, but I think Ortega behind him is the kind of push that he possibly needs. A quality player in Ortega. Looks like a really smart bit of business based off what we saw in pre-season. I absolutely trust him to come in if he needs to, and of course Carson's there just to be the backup if necessary and just bring the vibes, around the squad. Sometimes you need that. Into the defence, look, that collection of centre-backs is absolutely world-class. It just is. Look, there's no doubts there for me at all with that collection of centre-backs. Laporte, Ake, Ďaz, they aren't in any form of order. They're just the most commonly used pairs there. But Laporte, Ake, Ďaz is 4 top quality centre-backs. I cannot question that by any stretch. It's just absolutely brilliant. Of course, it gets more interesting when you get to the fullbacks. Over on the right, we've got Kyle Walker, and I put Rico Lewis there at right back because he was the option off the bench at the weekend. I'm not saying he'll be the first choice there because I'm sure Cancelo would get in and then maybe Gomez on the left instead due to seniority, but Rico Lewis does seem to be the backup. Cancelo on the left, obviously, is our first choice left back with the recently acquired Sergio Gomez, who we've yet to see in a City shirt. Obviously, the backup choice there with Wilson Esbrand as well. We'll get onto that in a little bit. In midfield, of course, we've got Rodri with, once again, a very, very, very capable alternative in Calvin Phillips. Excellent stuff, that. It's just perfect. I cannot question that at all. It does look like Bernardo Silva staying, so we got him, Gundogan, and KDB for those 2 false 8 spots, which is really good, high quality. Maybe a little bit light there potentially, but still very, very high quality. Over on the left, we've got Foden who can play there. Jack Grealish can play there. Really, really good. On the right, it's a little bit lighter. Mahrez, and then, of course, a younger player in Cole Palmer, who I really rate, by the way. It's just, obviously, he's a little bit younger, so I understand some reservations there. Through the middle, of course, you've got Erling Haaland and Alvarez, and that's just really good depth for me as well. It's absolutely excellent and more than enough. So looking at that squad again and going through the areas that aren't full of senior players, we're potentially lacking an attacking midfielder. We haven't got a backup senior player there, of course. Also, as well, maybe a backup right winger, a more senior one than Cole Palmer. I'm fine with it, but I understand the concerns potentially about Cole Palmer. It makes an awful lot of sense that people don't trust the guy who was injured for 6 months and then didn't really play much first-team football generally because he's young. I get that. I think he'll be fine, but I get it. And then, of course, as well, I guess this question mark's still over the fullbacks. Gomez, we don't know much about him. He is a converted attacking midfielder playing at left back. Is he going to be the solution? Is he defensively good enough? I don't know. Does he bring something different, though? I would argue yes. He's more of an overlapping fullback. And once again, we've now finally got a left-footed left back as well, which is very useful. Over on the right, we are definitely short there. I mean, Rico Lewis seems like a very exciting prospect, but he is 17 years old as it stands. There's no way we're going to trust him in a big game. Of course, that would be then or Stones if they needed to be, but it would be ideal to have maybe a Danilo type, wouldn't it? You know, someone like that with a little bit more experience. I would have liked to have seen us keep maybe 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐼, that guy who's done really well out on loan, African Nations, young player of the tournament, a really powerful, good attacking fullback with loads of ability. Looks like he's going to Marseille, is it? I think, or Lyon, one of the two. I can't remember who he's going to, but I would have liked to have seen that there, but that was never going to happen. And of course, yeah, maybe we're lacking a little bit in the centre of an attacking midfield. It is a good squad, though. It is a good squad, and there is variety there. I think I would suggest that maybe we are lacking a proper pacey winger option. Sterling in this squad would have absolutely completed it. I think he was the one that I would love to have seen stay. His ability on the right, trying to feed balls into Haaland and Alvarez. We Foden on the left if we wanted to go for proper left foot or right foot or winger would have been great on the counter-attack, especially as all signs so far indicate that Manchester City may be more of a side that attacks on the transition. That would have been really, really, really useful. But it's still obviously a good right-hand side. Mahrez is, you know, a high-quality player, if not world-class. Palmer is a great prospect, and we've already seen signs this season that we'll see a lot of Phil Foden on the right. It is an inverted winger situation, though. I do wish we had a little bit more of a touchline hugger on the right, especially considering that we haven't got an overlapping fullback on that side. You know, Walker's going to sit back a little bit deeper. It doesn't mean we have to do that. You know, there's many different ways to win a game and create chances, and maybe we just accept that the right is always going to be relatively narrow. With KDB, you know, drifting into that channel, which he does very often for what it's worth, so maybe you don't really need that because the overlapping player will be De Bruyne. We saw that plenty, and we've seen it already this season where Foden slips a channel, ball in the channel to KDB, and he gets it back to the back post. So maybe that is our option there, and maybe we accept that if we want a little bit of width, we go down the left-hand side. Not ideal because a variety is very useful, but it is something to consider. On the left, I like that. We've got, obviously, Cancelo, who'll invert and go through. We've got Foden, who can play more as a left winger, a proper left winger. He can stick to the touchline. Grealish will come in, of course. It's an option. Gomez could probably play there because he is an attacking midfielder by trade, but he's converted as a left back. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gomez actually in a variety of positions. Don't be surprised to see him come on at right wing or left wing or as attacking midfielder every now and then. I do genuinely believe that Gomez's end game may be different than we realise. He may be this season be the backup left back, but we might see Guardiola going, I like this guy in midfield potentially. Don't be surprised, honestly, then we sign a left back eventually, you know, maybe next summer or something like that. I honestly could see that happening, but we will see. So I do think, obviously, when we're asking the key questions, is it enough? We have to be lucky with injuries. If we get a few injuries, it could be really, really, really short. It could be, because we've already seen signs of that already, where the bench at the weekend was only 4 or 5 senior players on there. I think we had senior players where we had Alvarez, we had Grealish on the bench, then we had Bernardo, who else was it? Phillips, no, he wasn't there because he was injured, Stones and Ortega. So we had 5 senior players and a whole bunch of youth players. So it is a little bit light potentially. But of course, I can't really ignore the youth players. I mean, Wilson Esbrand, of course, may be unfortunately a bit of a, you know, a fall guy here with Sergio Gomez coming in. But Wilson Esbrand has shown that he's got the quality. It doesn't surprise me that we have brought a left back in, unfortunately, for Wilson Esbrand. As much quality as he's got, I don't think Guardiola was ever going to lean on Wilson Esbrand as a true backup left back when it came to the big games. And at that point, you're asking yourself, well, when is he going to play? The Carabao? In that instance, maybe yes, but we've got Gomez now, so it's going to be him instead, unfortunately. Unless Gomez plays ahead of him, maybe we'll see Gomez on the left wing in those games with Wilson Esbrand behind him at left back. That is something I expect we'll see. Over on the right, Lewis, look, he's not going to start unless Cancelo can't play there and Stones can't play there. I really do. I suspect we'll see Calvin Phillips ahead of him in the big game as well. That sounds harsh, but I think that's the realistic scenario. We all know that deep down. Yeah, so it is a little bit light potentially. Are there some youth players? Well, of course, we've got 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻 as well to help at centre-back or left-back if we need him to. Wilson Esbrand and Rico Lewis, we've already talked about. In terms of attackers, there is potentially Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob has developed an awful lot. He's a young Norwegian attacking midfielder. He's hung around to be relatively senior in the EDS because we need that, actually. We've let go an awful lot of senior players. 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻's going to Stoke, apparently on loan today. Lavia's gone. 𝙏𝙬𝙨𝙩𝙖𝙬𝙧 could be moving. 𝐌𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻's gone as well. He's gone on loan to Portugal. 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻's moved on. Harwood Bellis isn't there anymore. So we've let a lot of senior players go. So looking at Oscar Bob, he's one of the ones that could potentially be on the bench come a Carabao Cup game because he can play as a number 8 or as a right winger or as a false 9 or something like that. So he could prove himself useful. He will train an awful lot with the first team this season, so he could be one to step in. Of course, another centre-back option could be Finley Burns. He's hung around as well this year. We do have a pair of absolutely brilliant wingers that I really, really, really love. Carlos Borges, a young Portuguese winger, is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely loads of pace, loads of energy, loads of goals. A proper old school winger. I would love to see him get a chance. We've also got a young Scottish wing as well called 𝙏𝙬𝙨𝙩𝙬𝙧. He's likewise cut from a very, very similar cloth to Carlos Borges. Loads of ability, loads of pace, loads of goals. I would love to see them get a chance to be around the squad, and maybe they will be. In terms of midfielders from the academy, other than Oscar Bob, I can't really see anyone else getting a chance. They're all too young. Maybe 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻 will get a bit of a look in. I really like 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻. He seems a really smart attacking midfielder, box to box kind of dynamic, loads of work rate. Maybe Josh Adam or something like that. You know, he's a good player, Josh Adam. But can I see him getting a chance right now? Potentially not, even though he is very, very talented, very silky. We signed him from where did we sign him from? Was it Rangers? I think it was Rangers. But really, was it Celtic? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I think it might have been Rangers. But he's a really skillful attacking midfielder, 18 years old as well. Potentially, but I can't really see them being involved. But overall, I think this squad is a good squad. I do think there's enough variety there. It's a little bit light compared to some of our rivals, and we're already showing signs of being a little bit thin. But Guardiola prefers a thin squad, and that's fine. Is it capable of doing what we want it to do? Yes. And what do we want to do? We want to win the Premier League, and I think the Champions League, of course, is the aim. The other trophies like the FA Cup and the Carabao, look, I want to go far in them as well, but I think it's obvious that the main aims are Champions League and Premier League, and those two are bonuses. It's capable of winning a bunch of trophies, though, that squad. There is quality there, there is diversity, and it's also got enough energy and enough new ideas and a freshness to it that makes it very, very appealing for Guardiola. Guardiola doesn't like a big squad, unfortunately. He likes a squad that keeps everyone happy. As he keeps saying, he wants happy faces in the squad, and I have to respect that. So I think the squad overall is a good squad. It isn't perfect, but it isn't far off at the same time. You know, I think we're only ready, to me, maybe another, like, if we'd got a more senior fullback than 𝐿𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐻, I think everyone would be a lot happier. But I like Gomez, man. I like it. I think he'd be fine sat on the bench and learning, and maybe just the right winger, and I think we would have been in heaven. But other than that, it's still a very, very, very good squad. Let me know down in the comments what you make of it. And of course, head over to nordvpn.com/Esteemed Company once again to get the Nord Security Bundle deal. It's a wonderful deal, all for the price of a cup of coffee a month. Don't be browsing the internet vulnerable. Protect yourself online, and also get access to more geolocked data content as well. It's absolutely wonderful stuff. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to let me know down in the comments what you make of it. Hit the like button, give this channel a subscribe, and hit the notification bell and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you again for another video. And go watch a video this morning about Bernardo. Lovely stuff. In a bit.